Hello folks, welcome to the forecast. So today is Wednesday, and the Wednesday is usually when we get some moves, which is exactly what we can see in the market. So let me go through it and give you a detailed view of the current conditions. Here is the euro and US dollar, and I did actually like this price action. We finally broke out of this range of this kind of an ascending structure, and we are starting to get some nice moves, so that is definitely a good sign. And what happened, so we got this large push down, we got a huge wick, and at that point I did want to see a range. So at this point I wanted to see a wider range, so something like this, and then maybe a nice break and retest, not a break and retest, but a nice flag to go short. Unfortunately, we did not get any opportunity either on a flag or a break and retest setup. Instead, we broke the low, and then we just created this sort of a descending structure. So you can definitely see it. Let me zoom in a bit. We broke the low, retraced, broke the low again, retraced, broke the high, retraced, broke the high, retraced. So currently it again turned out to be crappy price action. We actually went from crappy price action to having a good impulse down to again forming this range, which we definitely want to stay out of since we are trend traders. When we see a range, we sit on our hands to avoid the losses. So currently I'm definitely sitting on my hands. What I am looking for is just, well, I'm looking for a large push up or a large push down, something like this. I'm also looking for maybe for a nice trend to start to the upside, or also a nice trend to start to the downside, maybe get a break and retest entry or some sort of a flag entry. Also, I will be looking for more of a descending structure and then a nice reversal to go up like this, or I will be looking for an ascending structure and then a nice reversal down. Again, in this case, this would be a warning sign, because we have a descending going into an ascending, which usually tends to signal to us a larger range. But if I do see really clean price action, I will be taking this sort of a setup. It's just a warning sign to be a bit more patient, more conservative, and more careful with the entries. So nothing more to say here. I had some expectations. Not that I had expectations, but I did like this sort of price action, but then it turned out to be just a range. So that's unfortunate, but that's why we have more than one pair. For example, the euro and the Japanese yen. So for this pair, what I'm seeing, I'm not seeing anything good either, but it's looking a little bit better than the euro US dollar. So what I'm seeing an ascending going into a descending structure, which usually, as I said, turns out to be a larger range. So what I'm expecting to see more of this larger range, and there is a opportunity to enter on a reversal, as you will see in a bit. So we had this descending and then we pushed up. But for me, this is not enough of a push to look for a reversal because of the prior price action. So the prior price action is actually giving me a warning sign that the range will happen. We have an ascending into a descending, which is a warning sign. And because of that, I want to see another candle up, something like this. And then I would look for maybe a flag or maybe a break and retest. I would just look for a trend to form to the upside. And then I would look to buy from this reversal. So currently I'm waiting for more price action. I'm waiting for the next candle, what it will do. If this just retraces, then you know it's a warning sign. We also are kind of creating this V reversal in that case. So I would look for a range, I would look for a push up and then to buy. That is a high probability setup. You can take a look at some of my prior forecasts for this sort of a setup if you want further explanation or further examples. But yeah, so as I said, you can mark out this area and you can see a clear descending structure. But one thing I also can notice, there is a liquidity area above this range. as you can see, we ranged around right here and people keep their stops above the range. So we have just reached the liquidity area, and this is a key moment. So will we push through it like this, or will we just retrace and get back into the range? So we need to see what happens. Always be careful about these liquidity areas. If we do get a larger descending, I will look for a reversal to the upside, of course. And that's about it what I can forecast. So my best bet is to look for more of a push up and then look to buy, or to look for that V reversal range and another push up. But if we don't get that, then we need to look for other opportunities, and we need to be more patient with this pair. Let's see what the Aussie US dollar is doing. So for this pair, I do have a pending short order right here at the inside bar, and I'm going to explain why. So in the price action, there was an opportunity to enter right about here, on not on this candle, but maybe some people were seeing this trend start to the downside. But for me, it was a very crappy trend. You can see loads of wicks, just struggling to go down. It looked like more of a descending structure than an actual downtrend, and the biggest part was this liquidity area below the range. Clear liquidity area. You can see we are clearly stuck in a sideways range. So at this point, we have just reached the liquidity area, and this was a key moment. Will we push through, or will we retrace back and continue ranging? And fortunately, we did push through, and some people would be tagged in. This would be the level. They would be tagged in, and they would now be in some good profit. So that's great. But for me, this just did not fit my plan. Then we pushed down, got a nice impulse. At this point, I still wanted to see a bit more because of the wick on the bottom, which is a warning sign. When we get a wick, it usually signals a range or a reversal. So at this point, I was not really seeing an established trend yet. It is a trend, but it's just struggling to go down. This last leg was the only good push. But then what happened? We broke the low again, retraced, so that was a warning sign, but then we continued down. And this is a very, very, very good sign, because we got a clean close. So we got almost no wick, which on the Aussie US dollar is a very, very good sign. We will continue to the downside. So I do have a pending short order at this inside bar. So I trade inside bars, and an inside bar is just a bar that is engulfed by the prior candle. You can see it hasn't broken the prior candle low or the prior candle high. And usually price tends to, it acts like a magnet, where price tends to reach it and then just drop. That is a very, very common pattern. You can actually look at it in backtesting, naked charting, how these inside bars act like magnets, and then actually are a great area to place a pending order. So currently I am looking to get tagged in on this and then get a nice push down, then look to scale into my position. Of course, look for this downtrend to continue. So currently I do classify this as a nice downtrend, and I'm definitely looking to get in on this downtrend. I'm not worried about a momentum shift right here, because for me personally it fits my plan. So it would just engulf this candle and maybe a little bit of this one when it retraces, but because we are trending, I'm happy with this sort of a pullback, so this does fit my plan. I will also look, if we start to descend, then I will look for a reversal, something like this. Or maybe we do ascend. Then I would be a bit more careful, since then this would be sort of a descending going into an ascending, which usually tends to signal to us a larger range. But if we get some really clean price action, I will consider taking it. We can also get a V reversal right here, look for a range, look for a push up, and then a nice flag to go long. Of course, really high probability pattern. And that's about it. We can also get a large push up, in which case I will look for a flag to go long, maybe a break and retest, whatever setup we get. But yeah, currently I am waiting to see if this downtrend will continue. If we close like this, I'm not sure if I will remove my order or not. I will have to take a look at what happens when the candle closes. But yeah, currently I have an order on, so let's see what happens. And that's about it for the Aussie US dollar. Finally, we have broken out of the structure, so I'm very glad that we have moved away from this structure, because that's a good sign. That's a good sign. We will probably start a nice trend, and let's see what will happen in the future. Now let's take a look at the Aussie and the Japanese yen. So for this one, this is not looking as good as Aussie US dollar. This is actually looking descending to me personally. As you can see here, this is looking descending. So let me mark it out what I'm seeing. I'm seeing that we have broken the low, got wicks retraced, broken the low again with not really much momentum, broken by just a few pips, and with these two candles retraced. Then we broke the high, retraced, and then we broke the low again. So right here we have this messy sort of a price action where it broke the low, then it broke the high, and retraced, created a huge wick up, created a wick down, broke the low again, created a large wick. So at this point, and also broke with just one candle. So at this point, this is just, for me, no trade. I am waiting for the break of the low or the break of the high. I'm not looking to enter on this inside bar. As you can see, we have an inside bar here, which would be my entry level. And I'm not looking to enter on it because of the prior price action. We are more descending than trending down. So this is not really giving me much confirmation. But what I will be looking for is more of a push down, and then maybe a nice flag, or maybe a nice combo to the entry area, or maybe even a break and retest trade. If we get some clean price action, if we get a clean close without the wick, that would be very high probability. I am also looking for a descending structure and then a reversal up like this. That would be also very nice. Or a V range, push up, look to buy, common high probability pattern. If we start to ascend, I will be sitting on my hands, and there are two reasons. First one is usually reversals don't really tend to work out that good on this pair. So if you get the reversal, it usually tends to fail unless we get really clean price action. And in this case, we would get a descending structure going into an ascending, which usually tends to signal to us a larger range, as I mentioned on the prior pairs. So that's about it for AJ. Currently descending. I'm seeing what will happen when we break the low or the high, and then I will look for a trade, or I will be more patient. It all depends. But yeah, this is also an okay sign. We have started to move down, so maybe we will get some nice trades. That's it for the forecast. I will see you guys in the next one, and I hope you took some value. And yeah, that's about it.